Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. This is a caucus of the Jersey City Municipal Council. Today is Monday, the 23rd of August, of March. We have a I'm wishing the warmth. 5:42 p.m., Monday, March 23rd. President roll call, Councilperson Gajewski.
Here.
Councilperson Ramchal is absent. Councilperson Bajano.
Yeah.
Councilperson Yun.
Here.
Councilperson Osborne.
Here.
You're here by teleconference.
Oh, God.
Councilperson Coleman.
Here.
Councilperson Rivera.
Here.
Councilperson Waterman.
Here.
And Councilperson Navarro.
Here.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have 7 members physically here. We have Councilperson Osborne on the line. I'm sure you can hear me loud and clear, Councilperson.
Yes, I can hear everybody fine.
Okay, let's hope the first speaker is going to be Mr. Brian Platt. Let me get this on record. Hold on one second.
Councilperson Osborne, Brian has to be somewhere shortly, so we're going to defer to him right now, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, being that I didn't have this on record, I'm just going to state that this is the caucus of March 23rd, 2015. We had a scheduled 5:42 p.m. start. We have 7 council members here, Councilperson Ramchal absent, and Councilperson Osborne here by teleconference. Mr. Platt, you may begin.
I'm here to answer questions or provide any additional commentary on Z13, the Bloomberg Innovation Delivery Team Grant Agreement.
Deputy Mayor Phillips addressed this last meeting.
Yeah, right. So it was introduced as an idea last caucus meeting, but the agreement itself wasn't provided with enough time before the council meeting last time. So.
See, President? Yes. Can I ask? You know, when the city of Jersey talk about economic development, I love to hear that, and it should be that way. You know, because it creates a job. So I pay attention more than anybody else, actually. So last year, more. Is that right? Oh, no, we all pay attention. Everybody pay attention more than I do, okay? I correct it, okay? Politically correct, okay. So now, yes, that's what I'm saying, correct. Okay, listen. So now, last year, mayor's office hired deputy mayor, and when I heard that, the major reason they hired the deputy mayor, I'm not going to tell the name, but the person's major role is that the economic improvement or development in Jersey City. I delighted. Good. I say yes, even though we have Division of Economic Development under the HDC. So when I look at it, we do duplicate service, but he said, okay, mayor showed his passion to, appoint the deputy mayor to pay attention. I agree. And this year, mayor hired another deputy mayor, pay attention for small business and economic improvement in Jersey City. So now, mayor's office spent almost $220,000 a year for the paycheck for the simply economic improvement or development in Jersey City. And also we pay, under the HDC, Economic Division of Economic Development, we pay paycheck $220,000 already. So total we spend, under the name of the economic development, we spend $440,000. Plus the benefit, cost for taxpayer more than $500,000 a year. But till today, I didn't see any project to come of the city council or any accomplishment. It's actually invisible. Now you're talking about Bloomberg one asked this city council plan to spend $750,000 over the 3 years. So $500,000 plus $750,000, we're talking over the 3 years. How much is almost? 1.2, 7. Almost $2 million that we're going to spend it. And when I see that this actually scope of work It's not even clear to us. So answer me, we have a 2 deputy mayor for economic improvement. We have a division of economic development under the HEDC, and you ask the city council, ask us spend another $750,000 over the 2 years. Explain to me. Why we need it.
Let me just start by saying, I think there are two. There are two different things that are being raised there. One seemed to be about the grant and the scope of the grant and what these people are doing for us, which is a very great question, and I'll leave that to Brian Platt. The other one, which seems to be about the 2 deputy mayors, I just think there might be a misunderstanding about that. We have 2 deputy mayors in the mayor's office. It was always envisioned that we were going to have 2 deputy mayors in the mayor's office. They have very different portfolios. It's not really related to this program. If you want, the deputy mayors can come here and talk about what they do at some other time, and we could cover off on that then. But I'll let Brian talk about the scope of the grant and all that kind of stuff.
So, while I'm not going to comment on what the roles of deputy mayors are right now, it is very much a synergy between all of the key stakeholders in the city with regard to economic development. So the first major initiative for this team is revitalization of economic commercial corridors, meaning that we have commercial districts throughout our city that, decades ago were bustling, energized areas where people would come to shop that have since, slid into a less active state. So, you see that on West Side Avenue, you see it on Ocean Avenue, you see it on MLK, it's all over the city. And so the first objective is to find a way to revitalize and restore the energy and the glory to these areas of the city. And so, some of the things that the current Economic Development Corporation and other entities within the city do will be synergies with that, but also it's very different than a lot of the things they do. So after that, that's the first major initiative. After that, the path is to continue to, as we're calling it, address Jersey City's very complex, widespread local issues, meaning that, there are a variety of ways that we want to improve the quality of life for our residents. And we are getting now a team of 7 people to focus just on that. So what we have now is we have a deputy, a deputy mayor, however many people you want to call it. We're going to add to whatever team is focusing on these issues 7 more people dedicated just to economic development issues and other issues too. It's not just economic development, public safety. It could be a variety of things, and it will be a partnership between the team, between the council, between the community, between other officials of the administration. So there will be, we will look for your input and feedback along the way as well. And now, yeah, sure.
You say bringing in 7 people. Why do we have directors?
Why do we have public safety department? We have the JCIA, we have the DPW. I mean, come on, you're talking about quality of life. That's a simple answer.
Yeah,
you don't need
so
7 people.
I
And
agree.
we don't need anybody else in the city. What we need is just to cut the BS out and start taking care of the people of the city.
Yeah, so I think we're both aligned on that we want to take care of the people of the city. So the difference is that this team is going to focus on new innovative ways to solve these issues and to think about them, and it's kind of a way to have a holistic data-driven approach to not just filling the potholes, but figuring out ways to fill them more efficiently and at a faster rate. Not that we're not doing an incredible job this year. I mean, we really. Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to support this resolution. I can say that now, But when I look at it, we see a lot of duplicate service. The city of Jersey is going to have to be kicking $250,000 every year, 3 years. So when I look at it, we have a lot of people in your office, mayor's office, not your office, mayor's office, and the HEDC. If we limited that department, that person, we can save enough $250,000 contribute over here. You know what I'm saying? So now we can make ourselves continue grow bigger and bigger government, but we didn't see any accomplishment until today.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that I support this one, but my suggestion is we should limit it, Economic Development Corporation, Division of Economic Development, or in the major office manpower, we should limit it. So let them join over here, actual I-team, resign so they can join it. They can keep the 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at least City of Jersey save some dollars, couple $100,000.
I do also want to help you feel more at ease with the financing side of it. So if you think about it as, you know, we're looking to go, we bond for things and it costs us arguably more than $1 to get $1 worth of work. This program, we're spending $750,000 to get over $2 million worth of work, so to speak. And that doesn't include just salaries, it includes other than personnel dollars as well. So, you know, we can pay for consulting services and other kinds of things that we may need to make sure this team has everything all the tools necessary to achieve success. So the other thing is that the $750,000 that we need to provide, we very much expect to fund most of that, if not all of it, through grant funding. And also that $750,000 doesn't go to paying for the existing grant items. It goes to implementation of all of the directives and the outcomes of the research and analysis that is done by this team. Meaning that, you know, if we decide that, just an example, you know, if we decide that there's some new way to fill potholes in the city and we need to get some new piece of equipment, we could potentially find a grant to buy this new equipment, and that counts towards the $750,000. So it's not $750,000 going to paying salaries. It's implementation of the actions.
Yeah, I agree with you. City of Jersey, we need to start.
Innovate idea to improve, you know what I'm saying? So I support it, you know what I'm saying? But we should limit some position in the mayor's office to at least half of their funding. We put your 250 cover from somewhere from there, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm fine. You know, I'm happy with
Message
that.
received. That's a different discussion. I'm just here to speak about the grant. Yeah. So, yeah. Any other questions or no?
Say, congratulations, thank you. This is highly competitive. There are cities throughout the entire,
There are 12 cities
throughout the world, right? Nation?
2 cities in Israel, Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, that got it as well. And you know, we're arguably possibly the smallest city in the group. It's cities like Chicago, Memphis, Boston. I mean, it's big name cities. Yeah. Yeah.
Please
Thank you.
tell them thank you on behalf of the city.
I don't know
of
if
Jersey
he's
City.
going to be there, but yeah, it's got to
Well,
go.
thank our funders.
Good job. You did a
Thank
good
you.
job.
You know what I'm saying? But we just to make sure.
I'm here to please you. So.
How's it gonna work?
Yeah. Sorry. You want me to sit back now?
The grant was written by our in-house grant office and the consultants?
Yes,
As a
yes.
collaborative group?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I just wanted to.
You could stay standing.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Osborne, you hearing us well?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Very good.
No, let's do the. Councilperson Osborne, do you want to, we'll defer to your item so that you can, we can get that passed?
You-
3A, I guess it is, right?
This was the ordinance that we had put up, but I had asked to pull it for some operational concerns regarding kind of closing the loophole on taxes that Airbnb and kind of similar aggregators like Airbnb or vacation rental by owner, they're using individual condo units as hotels, but they're not paying the hotel tax. This modifies the definition and means that these aggregators are going to have to start collecting that hotel tax when people book through Airbnb or VVRO, and then passing those taxes back onto the city.
Questions for the councilperson? Councilman Bogiano.
You say houses too, it says house. A lot of people are paying their taxes by this. How are you going to enforce this, number one? You're never gonna be able to enforce it. And you're gonna hurt a lot of older people who are making extra income by trying to rent out a room to pay their taxes. This, you wanna do it for the condos, fine. But when you start hitting houses, that's wrong.
Councilperson Osborne?
I mean, I respectfully disagree. I don't have a, I mean, If you ask me, should the law be specific for condos versus homeowners, I don't think that's good policy. If you ask me, are we going to focus on people who are putting up listings on Craigslist, that doesn't seem like a very worthwhile use of our time, because I don't think we would recoup the money that we'd be getting by collecting it. I think this is really aimed at getting taxes that are charged to the consumer, not to the homeowner, that are charged to the consumer, the person renting the room or the house, through a big company like Airbnb. I don't think that the city is going to be spending a lot of time and resources on trying to track individual homeowners who are making arrangements, on a one-off basis. But I don't think we should craft the law to specifically exclude them, because I don't think that's good policy.
Okay, Candice, I'd like to ask actually,
Caucus and Council. They say ordinance not apply to anyone renting or subletting their apartment home for periods of 30 days or longer. So in other words, if somebody, Jeremy, what's the matter with you? You're gonna look at me. It's not say that, but in the newspaper article, this hotel tax actually not apply for it's an apartment or home for more than 30 days, they're renting.
I think, and I'm looking to see this,
So-
the actual period is 90 days, and you'll notice in the body of the ordinance, there's a reference to state exemptions, and that's where it's layered in, because the state law already says it's 90 days, so we just incorporated by reference the state law.
it's a 90 days?
It's 90 days.
See that the article in Judge Journal, they say 30 days.
I might have just been a miscommunication like that, but the state statute provides for 90 days, and so we just incorporated the state
So
statute.
if anybody who rents
More
longer
than 90 days,
They are exempt.
they're exempt from the hotel tax.
That's right. That's the way the state law currently reads.
Okay, so not 30 days, right?
Mark, you were in code enforcement.
Yes.
Wasn't there an ordinance passed a few years back, that you can't do this?
Not that I'm aware of.
There is a licensing ordinance that we enforce through Housing Code Enforcement. All hotels have to apply annually for a license.
And you'll see in the body of this ordinance that we wrote that we were very clear. There's several things going on with these, let's call them informal, short-term stay operations, including, are they abiding by the correct code? Are they abiding by the correct licensing and registration? All of those things need to be addressed with these units for a whole myriad of reasons, not the least of which is safety and also to ensure that they're not burdening the community in any way. And one of the ways that they burden the community is by bringing people in here that use different things like parking and water and all these things, which is not really fair to pass on to the regular Jersey City resident. But that's the reason why hotels have hotel taxes. And so by ensuring that at the very least as a first step in addressing this concern, we're collecting that hotel tax, it means that it reduces the burden of this use on the regular Jersey City resident.
Oh, see, first of all, hotels
Have parking, that's number one, so they don't burden the people in the
No, we're
neighborhood.
not talking about hotels.
Secondly, when they bring, these hotels along the waterfront, bring people here that go to our restaurants, shop here, go to the mall and stuff. So I don't know how they're burdening the people of Jersey City.
See, Jeremy and the Candice?
So my question for you then, Councilman, is are you saying that you would, this to me is something that, I just so strongly disagree with you, because if we're saying that the taxes have to come from somewhere, I personally would much rather charge someone who doesn't live in Jersey City than someone who does live in Jersey City. This is a tax on the consumer who is visiting Jersey City from out of town. And so to me, if we say we don't want to do that, that means we necessarily want to tax our own residents more. And that doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
And just kill the condo business,
Okay.
because lawyers and doctors are buying them, nobody else is.
Councilman,
Okay, yeah, Candice, I agree with you 100%. I support this one because even though they pay hotel tax, actually not house owner not paid hotel tax. Actually, visitors who guests who have to use that, actually we collect. It's not paid by the homeowners and so on. So I support it. It's about time to bring up the fair tax for not only that the hotel for general whoever visiting the tourists in the Jersey City. So I support it. And this is a good idea. It's about time we bring up to make sure that extra revenue without it. And also my concern is that hotel tax maximum up to 3%, right? That's what I. 6%? No. Hotel tax rate is New Jersey 12%, and the hotel tax local up to 3%.
Yeah, I think it's 6%, and we already assess 6% on our hotels.
So how many percent do we charge?
We assess our hotels 6%.
6%.
Then we not pay, and the homeowner judges not pay actually. People who visitors pay, so it's a benefit to us taxpayer.
You rent your house out, you're gonna pay.
Yes, we pay, but actually we collect from the visitors. You own the house, you not pay.
You can't
They pay.
enforce, you can't enforce it. It's ridiculous. Do it to the hotels if you want. Do it, you know,
But and actually stated all this internet, that company who rented our, yes, about time to they pay. Yes.
Not the homeowner and not the person visiting. When they rent the room, we get to add it on to the fee.
Yes. It's about
These
time.
services, if you haven't been online to the service, Airbnb.com.
Yes.
They'll charge the fee directly on the internet there, and they do it. And I'm stealing Candace's. She told me this in response to the same question. They do it in municipalities throughout the country, and where people are getting these B&Bs and so forth.
So even hotel tax they charge, it not cost for taxpayer Jersey City, actually visitors, so fine, let them pay.
Great. Councilperson Osborne, I don't think there's any other questions. Do you want to stay with us, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on.
Are
Okay.
you sure you got nothing to do?
But I do have to go at some point, so you might hang up, but I'm gonna stay on as long as I can, so.
All right, say goodnight before you do hang up, please.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Paul Belton Boyer? Hi, Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am here to answer any questions the council may have regarding 3G, an amendment to increase fees for dog licenses. G is in George.
Increasing the fees for dog licenses.
Yeah,
Councilor Rivera?
Great job, Paul.
Well done.
Thank you. Glad to serve.
Which is right, Brian?
10Z, I believe.
10Z is in zebra?
Correct.
Yep.
So, good evening, council. I'm here to answer any questions about First Street Park and awarding construction contract to renovate the park.
This one had to bid twice, the bids were rejected. Third time around, we were able to negotiate directly for a better price, which Brian did.
Any questions for Mr. Weller?
Yes, Brian, we're going to get the bids out for Persian Field, and we're gonna get that done right away.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the next parks to go
We're going on 18 months now, or 19 months, okay?
I'm voting no on that. You voted no on my basketball court, so I'm gonna vote no on his park.
Don't listen to him, Brian.
This one, the city of Jersey allocated $350,000, right? They actually capital improvement for this park.
The community group went out and got a grant from Hudson County Open Space for just shy of $300,000. And
just allocated 250.
yes,
So 650 total budget, right?
correct.
Okay. Not bad, right?
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mr. Weller. We've got Mr. Redfield.
I'm here to answer questions on two resolutions, 15-212.
There'll be Z3.
And this is a contract renewal.
Let the record show.
Regarding a renewal for electrical supplies, when we need to get supplies for our electricians to maintain our city buildings. Yes. This was a local vendor, and we put out the bid, and it was a public bid. It was a contract renewal. It's the same vendor we used last year.
Pools?
Yes. Z4, this is a pay-to-play. This is to maintain our 3 city pools. They open up the pools, they maintain them, they supply the chlorine and all the other chemicals for our pools. Yes.
Any questions for Mr. Redfield? Hearing none? Director, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Mr. Magro, right, has 2?
That's it? Okay.
Hi, Bob.
Good evening, all. I'm here to answer questions on Resolution Z1 and Z2. Z1 is renewing our contract for what are known as POTS lines. The acronym means Plain Old Telephone Service Lines. And what these lines are used for, they actually have a multitude of uses. They can be used just for voice calls, they can be used for telephone alarms, for video conferencing, a number of different things. They're different in nature than Centrex lines, which are primarily for voice. These are for different purposes.
Z1, that we get spend $153,000 based on 400.
Oh, I'm sorry. Z2 is one I was just talking about. Z1 is the one you're talking about. My bad.
Z2?
I was talking about Z2.
Yes. Okay. So all the telephone line service, we're gonna spend the 70, almost $89,000, $80,000. You know what I'm saying? But
For the POTS lines.
yes,
So now, which location we still use the
all the telephone system. Which location now? What area? I mean, which department? Which division?
Well, there really isn't a specific area. It's like in the case of firehouses, where there may be like 1 or 2 lines, we'll use POTS lines. Yeah. You know, and some of our locations which have voice over IP service keep a POTS line for 911.
During Hurricane Sandy, all the lines went down because they required power. POTS lines require power, but they use a different grid, so they were able to stay operational longer. And so there's a practical reason why you maintain certain POTS lines.
The way you say,
There, few places here, few places there. Then we should be spend $80,000, upgrade a few places, then spend $80,000 every year. Don't you think so?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yes. You say, when I ask you how many places has we use all the telephone service, you say few, the police, the fire department, 2 line, and here and there. So it sounds like to me only less than maybe 5 places we use all the telephone,
No,
persons.
they're sprinkled all over the place. I mean, a lot of the buildings have alarms which require telephone lines. Alarms.
okay.
Fire alarms, burglar alarms, things of that nature. So there are a lot of them, is basically what I'm saying. Maybe the example I gave of the firehouses having 1 or 2 is not a good one. But we have an inventory of all the lines. If you would like, I can give you the inventory and the location. Okay.
So even Wednesday, I like to see.
Okay? Okay, please.
Okay, anything else in the pots?
That was Z2. Now Z1.
I apologize for going backward, as I don't have my reading glasses here tonight. But Z1 is,
Software House International for the Adobe software license. and
yeah, in
product.
much the same fashion that we're upgrading our Microsoft software, we're upgrading our Adobe software. Right now, many city offices are using Adobe version 7, 8, and 9, and the current is 11. So in previous budgetary years, we didn't have the funding available to actually do the upgrades. Now we are going to use capital funds to actually do the upgrade. We're getting a 3-year arrangement, which gives us a reduced price on the cost of the software licenses. The other elements we get with this is that it's not only Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Acrobat Pro, We're also acquiring licenses for the Adobe Creative Suite, which is used for a lot of design purposes, either in architecture or the mayor's communication office or things of that nature.
Any questions regarding the Adobe software? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
We have Kirsten.
I'm here on 3 C, D, and E, and actually I'll also chime in on H because Marianne isn't here. 3 C, D, E. I'm fast, you know I'm fast.
Okay.
Ready? 3C is an ordinance amending the supplemental zoning regarding height exceptions. So the land development ordinance will delineate how tall a building can be, and then it's understood that on the top of that building there are other appurtenances such as mechanical features, stair bulkheads, and so forth that can extend beyond the height of the building to a certain limit. We have found that with these roof decks keep posing more and more unexpected consequences. Now that elevators and stairs are going to the roof, it's typical that there'll be a small vestibule between the elevator and the roof because you're not generally going to step right out into the elements. We have had developers increasingly think that that vestibule is infinite in size. It suddenly becomes rooms and rooms, and they're not considered a story at that point. So now we are putting a limit on that vestibule space to 100 square feet so they can have a small space to get from the indoors to the outdoors, do pretty much whatever they need to in there. If they want to put a chair or a closet or storage space or whatever, but that is not going to become a room and therefore an extra story with this 100 square foot limit.
Question?
Yep.
So my understanding is that just to kind of boil it down in everyday language, you're closing a loophole.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I asked Bob at the agenda meeting if cleared it with those folks who were.
Oh, you know what? We forwarded the document to the Historic Preservation chairman. What's his name? Slipping my mind. We forwarded it to the people who you requested. I have not heard back from them. Okay. I'm going to reach out again tomorrow, but I think that if there had been a real egregious problem, they would have gotten back to me in fury right away. But I'll double check on that tomorrow.
Okay.
3D is an amendment to the R3 zone. This came to light with the recent perspective of development on the Puccini's site. The R3 zone is scattered citywide, and the Puccini site, as well as some other places, would benefit from some ground floor retail. So we are putting that in limited locations. Basically, it's going to be new construction on corner lots, limited to a 50-foot street front minimum. So this will rule out anything mid-block that might be more of an intrusion on the neighborhood, but big corners with new construction may be able to support, a corner store or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it true that Puccini's is supposed to move back into the new building? That's a rumor going around. Is that true?
I haven't heard that rumor. We have not yet gotten a site plan from them, so I don't know what it actually looks like. But that would, I mean, I think we would welcome that, but I haven't heard either way on that. This is the first time I'm hearing that. So.
A meeting, you and I, with the developer, we'll find out what's going on there. Yeah. All right? Let's do that. I think my aide knows a lot about what's going on, because we've been meeting with Pascal a lot. Mm-hmm. Glenn, you know what's going on.
Thank you.
All right.
3E?
3E, this is, I think, closing up an error from before. This is the village redevelopment plan. Currently, the permitted uses list 1 and 2 family dwellings, but later on in the document, it talks about townhomes. So it seems to me that at some point in time, townhouses were anticipated. It wasn't listed as the permitted uses. There was also a period about 2 years ago where we amended the glossary, and things might have gotten mixed up then. But basically, we have somebody who wants to come in and build townhouse development that's common downtown. I don't think there's any reason to object to that, and I have a feeling that it was anticipated and something got mucked up along the way.
Candace, is that okay? She's still there?
Sorry, I was on mute. I might have a follow-up question, but I'm okay for now.
Okay, right now it actually says 1 and 2 family dwellings, which is kind of what we don't want to see downtown because that could be detached Bayonne box type homes. So I think that this is bringing the architecture more to a typical Jersey City downtown form. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Okay.
Thank you.
Just while I'm sitting here, 3H, Mary Ann presented to you at your last meeting with regard to City Council having the only authority to name streets. And she needed to rewrite it to put it into the correct context of the current code. She had put it in the wrong section or something. There's no change to her language, so I just wanted to make sure I didn't leave before you had any questions about that. But it was presented to you last time, she said.
Any questions? 3H? No. Hearing none?
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. She has the last item?
She has one item, okay. Carmen? You have one item?
I just passed it out, it's 10Z14, resolution authorizing a contract with Mullen and Lonerberg Associates for preparation of the city's 5-year consolidated plan for 2005 through 2019. Annual action plan and update the city's analysis of impediments to the fair housing plan.
Any questions? Or, I'm sorry, comments?
No, I mean, ideally, it's, apologize for the late ad, but with a lot of the planning, in regards to the materials I provided over, it was pretty much trying to get us in line with what HUD is asking us to do. So ideally, Mullen and Lonigan were, I think, the only consultant that bid for this project. But ideally, it's 3 plans that we're doing. We're doing the annual action plan, the consolidated plan, and the analysis of impediment. That we're updating all that stuff from like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
They did the last one.
And they actually did our last one as well. So they have a lot of Jersey City information materials. So it's in hopes in line to get us executed closer to our funding and our dollar amount. So.
Let's see, the last, that report we have there from the company? Last report. So it sounds like it's every 5 years we have to do it? So last one, do we have a copy of the report? That last one? Yeah.
Okay, so it's on the city's website under my page. It can be found at the library. Yep, it's at the library. So, and it's a Bible book, like it's huge, right? So I can mail you one as well, but immediate access is on the community development's website. Yeah, I'll send you a link. Absolutely.
At the meeting the other day, we had a young lady that was with you. I gotta get back to her on the food
Angela Russo?
program. Yeah, what's her name?
Angela Russo.
Angela Russo.
She's the Hopper grant manager.
Thank you.
And so what we discussed at the meeting, I'm looking, still waiting for you from you, okay?
I sent you some emails today. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it. Okay, we'll circle back. Anything else? Nope.
Thank you, Carmen. Last and certainly not least, Jerry Collar.
I have 9 resolutions, 10O through 10W. And they all have to do with our favorite subject, the communication center. Okay. 10O.
I'll I'll rattle them off if you want, Jerry.
Sure.
O is an agreement with Verizon to provide telecommunication services.
Any questions on this?
P, authorizing Viper Communications for providing maintenance and support services for the Department of Public Safety, Communications and Technology and Trado Viper E911 system without public bidding.
Questions?
Q, an agreement with Viper Communications providing maintenance and support services for the Public Safety Police, Avaya phone system without public bidding.
Questions?
R is a resolution authorizing an agreement with Let's Think Wireless for the support of proprietary computer hardware and software maintenance.
Any questions? Hearing none?
S is Astra Software for the annual support and enhancement of the Department of Public Safety Division of Communications and Technology Center computer-aided dispatch system.
Any other questions? None. T.
Authorizing an award of contract to CDW Government Incorporated for the purchase of Accessa Wide Area Network Optimizers for the Department of Public Safety Division of Communications and Technology through the Middlesex Regional Educational Services Commission.
And U.
Is a resolution authorizing a contract with CDW Government for Cisco SmartNet renewal under state contract for the Department of Public Safety Police. V, contract with SpinCube Incorporated for SQL service under state contract for the Department of Public Safety. W, language line services for telephone-based interpreter services for the Department of Public Safety, Police, and Western States Contracting Alliance, National Association of State Purchasing Officials, Cooperative Purchasing Organization.
That's it. Any questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Oh.
Not that easy. Not that easy.
Center direct, hiring director of communication center.
I'm sorry? There's an ordinance on.
Oh, the ordinance.
Reading
Yes,
to hire a director of the communication center.
yes, that's what I'd like to ask.
What's the ordinance number?
Good reading, right?
It's 3G 15033.
You're not off the hook yet.
This was explained
Okay.
at the last caucus that this is a new position for a retired police officer.
Yes, it's a civilian position, and he's replacing a retired fire deputy chief.
Is it replacing?
Yes. We had an acting director who was a uniform a fire deputy chief. He's being replaced with a civilian director of communications.
Do they give a job description?
I'm sorry?
Job description, what is the duty and role?
There are civil service job descriptions that go with it. We'll get you a copy if you like.
Yes, we can have a copy of that.
Sure.
Yeah, that position is to cover both persons.
That's correct.
That's a new thing.
Yes.
So you're replacing two jobs that are probably about 120,000 feet?
Yes,
With
easily.
one job person.
Great job finding efficiencies.
Right. Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Anything else? From the top.
All right.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, council members, we're going to have the public hearing on the Jackson Hill Main Street Special Improvement Budget and Assessment Roll. We have two resolutions that are companions to that. And council members, we were chatting before the caucus, for the next meeting, instead of the agenda being disseminated on Holy Thursday before the holiday, we're going to put the agenda out on a Wednesday. Wednesday, so that'll be Wednesday, the 1st of April. Okay?
We're gonna get full.
It's
All
gonna
right.
start on Wednesday, we're gonna get.
B has been withdrawn, I understand. The West Bergen East Lincoln Park Historic District is being withdrawn?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. So we only have one other first reading to discuss, a franchise ordinance granting permission to public storage. Its successors and assigns to make public improvements in the First Street, Second Street, Provost Street, and Warren Street right of way. Any questions on that?
So the Lincoln Park, East Park, Lincoln Park Historic District, I know a lot of my colleagues there have an issue with that, so that's why the council president decided to pull that. And let's have an ad hoc, we're gonna put an ad hoc committee in place. He's gonna pick who's gonna be on the committee, and we're gonna go over this. Councilman Young called me today with that as well. So make sure this done and done the right way.
Okay.
Okay. So now, where we go now? 3.
Okay, 3F. Oh, that is the one, it's a franchise. We brought the last year at the city actually election. The liability insurance, they always say $2 million, over the 99 years or so. Can we, amend that word?
No, it is amended, there is language in there amending that.
Amending the legal already?
That's my understanding, that the language was in there and was amended. Let me see that quickly.
No. What I have is this one.
No, look at page 3, section A, it says $2 million general liability insurance policy. Under section 5A.
Section 5A, but we discussed it last time. $2 million means something today, but it's 50, 60 years later, $2 million is not. So actually, when we
There
go.
was supposed to be an escalator added in there. I will make sure that the escalator gets put in.
We able to change it to
Yes.
Wednesday, okay? They will like, I'll have it changed tomorrow.
Okay, great, thank you. Other than that, no questions. Okay.
Okay, second?
Okay, resolutions. Any questions on second readings?
Oh, second reading.
One at a time. Councilman Gajewski?
Yeah, I had brought up when I was talking to you, and I know I mentioned it to Chico before, about the area by St. Peter's College, the additional zoning. And, I got only 3 people sent me emails, saying they were for it to vote yes. But they all said the reason that they were having a problem was because of the original zoning for Fairmount and Fairmount Terrace. So, it almost seems like we're pushing the traffic parking problem a couple blocks away. So now we add in Duncan and Apollo, does it go 1 block further where all the college students are parking 1 block further? I mean, you live very close to
New Jersey University.
Yeah, it's something that I'm trying to figure out whether I'm for it or against it. But it seems like, we got a parking problem in a lot of places, and I know from going to Jersey City State College at one point, we didn't have that when I was going there. Now we can't park there, and it's a problem. It's in your ward.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night you're gonna have someone, can we get someone from traffic to the meeting tomorrow night?
Sure. Can we have Joe DeSouza join us at tomorrow's meeting? Wednesday's meeting?
I'm for it, but it almost seems like it's just pushing it another block away.
This is for 4J, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions on second reading? Hearing none?
All right, resolutions. We have an emergency temporary appropriation.
Oh, that's the, I'm sorry, 10I, that's a 4I.
4I.
Jeremy?
So 10 years one, because... Oh, you left?
Gene, he just opened up.
He left.
Just yell Gino Khan.
He's down, right? With the roof, right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, can I ask questions? No, not you. Yeah, Jeremy can answer that, Okay, Jeremy, it's a 4I, 10 years. You pay service charge, 12% of gross annual revenue, correct? Okay, but when we see that the financial agreements, contract, they are a little bit different. So I'm a little uncomfortable.
What are you seeing different?
Okay, see, financial, go to page 9, section 4.2.
Section
4.2. Stage adjustments.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. I must be on the wrong section. You said page 9, you said? At the
It's a
bottom.
financial agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
I got it. Yeah. 4.2I. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
In the stage 1, annual service charge, stage 1, the annual service charge shall be 10% of the annual gross revenue. We talking about 12%.
Yeah, it's gonna be 12%. So you'll notice the financial agreement that's attached to these is just our form agreement. It's not the actual final form of the agreement. That's why there's blanks and dashes. We get it as close as we can, and then we close it out once we have your approvals to make it specifically exactly the way you guys approve it. But we'll have that changed so it's even as to form.
Okay, so now, once the contract based on our city council approved ordinance,
That's
not actual lease agreement. So lease agreement will be adjusted based on city council ordinance, correct?
That's right.
Okay, that's, I just want to make sure.
You're right. That's right. And I'll actually have the attachment corrected anyway.
And it references 12% in
Yeah.
4.1.
Yeah.
At the top of the page. So,
They just didn't carry it through because they.
yeah, they missed it.
Yeah, they missed it, right?
Yeah.
What department was it?
It's all right.
I appreciate that. I want to record that. We'll follow through. No
Any other
worries.
questions?
Okay.
Any other questions? None? Okay, let's do resolutions. Guess we'll move forward with Dr. Clark. Resolution A.
Just read the whole title.
Yeah, it's a resolution authorizing an emergency appropriation. Resolution 10B, resolution authorizing the BA to execute a discharge of mortgage affecting 314A Arlington Avenue, also known as Block 19701, Lot 2, FKA Block 1953, Lot 15.B. And we're at 10C.
All right, thanks for pinch hitting, Council President. I'll take over. 10C is authorizing a discharge of mortgage at 15 Crescent Avenue by the business administrator. As is D, authorizing a discharge of mortgage at 326 Iggy Avenue. E, discharging a mortgage at 87 Woodlawn Avenue. F, we're removing a restrictive covenant that affects the title of property known as 147 Academy Street. G and H we alluded to earlier. They're the approval of the assessment roll in the budget of the Jackson Hill Main Street Special Improvement District. There'll be a public hearing, should anyone desire to attend. And I is amending the taxi stand designations, designating a 40-foot taxi stand at 140 Franklin Street.
Franklin Street, yeah.
J and K and L.
Can I ask this one? So,
North side. The first street was to be even numbered, it's on the north side.
North side. Right, but let me ask this one.
Okay, taxi stand. Even though we have a taxi, if we don't have the Central Avenue taxi or Jonas Street taxi, then what is the sense to have a taxi stand? You know, I insisted, I expect some Central Avenue taxi, whatever we expected, but without sell the license, you know.
Well, taxis can go to that stand.
So they can stand.
Yeah, they can go
There
there.
are taxis that have citywide licenses. And
Okay, citywide license.
There's some that are specific and some that are citywide.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, taxi kids can really float around the city if they want, and you can flag them down if you wanted
So
to.
now, how
Are
do
you
you
saying to us you want us to figure out if we need to license specific taxis? Just, that's what you were saying?
like that?
We'll run it by the people who make that, they do a whole statistical thing, what?
You know what I'm saying? Because Jonas Street taxi not going to come in Central Avenue, you know, other than they have a rider, you know. So if we have like
We'll
a.
ask Director Woodson to do an analysis for us.
Okay.
He would make the determination.
The first one was 2 years.
Maynard?
Yes.
And you got your stand.
Yeah, we got the one is 10.
Excuse me,
We want to tax for heights.
Councilman,
Oh, I'm sorry. The taxis can't drive around. I thought that's a law. They can't drive around. They have to stay in a stationary spot unless they get caught.
No, there are two types of licenses. There are some that are specific and then some that are citywide.
That's what I'm saying. So we need a specific though. Height. So you just build up the taxi stand, but if we don't have the taxi, what is the sense to have it? Just to take away parking space. And we spoke with a height taxi, like a specific area. I almost spoke 2 years, we go nowhere.
All right, well, you got to stand and we'll do an analysis.
Please, PA. Can't you? Anything for you, Councilman. Oh, great, you're the best.
JK&L closing streets, Exchange Place on March 28th for the Art Surati Incorporated. K closing Town Square Place and Ring Road on Saturday, May 3rd for the Newport property owners 10,000 road race. L closing Columbus Drive from Grove to Barrow on August 9th for the Daniel Rivera Stickball World Series event. M, proclaiming the week of March 22nd to 28th as Boys and Girls Club Week. N, authorizing the use of competitive contracting to award a concession for the provision of carnival amusements on July 4th through July 5th, 2015. O through S were done earlier. T is a contract with CDW Incorporated for the purchase. Did we do that already? Yes, we did. Done. Yeah, O through W. I'm sorry, I didn't make those little, it looked familiar, but I didn't make the my little dots next to it. X is increasing the contract for Keith Bonchi, Esquire of Goldenberg, Mackler, Mitz, Pfeiffer, Bonke, and Gill as special counsel to foreclose tax lien certificates in rem. Y is a contract with amending a contract with Nelson Westerberg of New Jersey for providing moving services. We did Z through Z4 earlier. Z5 is a contract with Schulman, Wegman and Associates to provide court reporting services for council meetings for the office of the city clerk. They were the low bidder, the incumbents. Z6 is authorizing an amendment to the professional services agreement with Donahue, Geronda, and Dorius, certified public accountants.
This to conduct a 6-month audit on the parking authority. Since now they're under us and they no longer exist, we're hiring the auditor to do their audit.
Yep. Okay, Z7 is a professional services contract with CarePoint Medical Group to provide medical services for the Department of Human Resources.
Just an extension. The HR is reviewing the bids now, and hopefully next meeting you'll have a recommendation for a new contract.
Z8, sure.
Z6. I have a lot of different pages stapled to it, Z7 and Z8, but I also have Z7 and Z8 separately. So I'm just wondering if I'm missing pages, or
Can I see what you
or is
got?
it just a one
Yeah,
page?
it's like 7 got attached to 6.
Okay, so it's just a one-page resolution? Z6?
Yeah, Z6 is a one-page resolution.
Okay.
And it got mistakenly attached. So we fix it like that.
That's fine.
There we go, it's fixed. Okay, Z8, an annual event hiring pediatric consultant, Dr. Solomon Owasu. Z9, amending a professional services agreement with Reich Eichler for representing police officers Thomas Johnson and Clyde Banks in the matter of Francis DeFazio and Shazia DeFazio versus the City of Jersey City. Z10 is reauthorizing the...
Co-person counsel?
Can I ask?
This company, we pay $125 an hour. Last year, I think on March 26, we proved that, March 2014, till today. They cost us $50,000. That means they provide 400 hours of service. They provide really 400 hours of service?
Yeah, sure. You gotta remember, it's not one person doing it, and they have several different matters and things going on. These are very active litigations that we're a part of. And they're actually doing a great job for us at a great rate.
If we have 3 lawyers involved together, they count 3 hours, right?
Yeah, if 3 lawyers each spend an hour on the matter, then that's 3 hours.
Z10, reauthorizing a professional services agreement with Darman Carmagnola to represent Chief of Police Robert Troy and other former Chief of Police Robert Troy and other municipal employees in the matter Montone versus the City of Jersey City. Z11 is reauthorizing a professional services agreement with the law firm of Arleo and Donahue to assist and advise the City of Jersey City with coordinating responses related to the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey toll lane diversions. Z12 is the resolution of the Municipal Council amending program contracts under the Community Services Block Grant Program from October 1, 2014 to December 31, 2005. Could we have a motion to amend, to adjourn this meeting at 6:42?
Wow, so when I'm not there in person, meetings go really fast.
All right, the motion is by Councilman Ramchal, seconded by Councilman Waterman. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night. Good night,
Good night, Candace.